morning. In this video, I will be reading to you lesson number 1 from the Success course by Jimmy Phipps. It used to be called Paymaster Multi-Facts Profit System. All right, attitude. You may have heard sometime during your life the old saying, attitude determines one's altitude. Let's analyze these words of wisdom and think about what they really mean. When we are born, we have certain traits which are inherited from our parents. Others are accumulated along the road of life to build our identity and character as individuals. Throughout our growing years, we're influenced by everything around us, good and bad. Many studies of human behavior have been conducted to determine what makes one person excel in certain conditions where others in identical conditions fail. When we see those who have achieved what we consider success or great wealth, many people immediately think, well, they were lucky. I could never do that. I'm too old or too fat, or I'm not good looking enough, or I'm not smart enough. All right, that's negative self-talk. Eliminate that. Eliminate the negative. The success-conscious person looks at a circumstance as an opportunity. They immediately say to themselves, how did they do that? Let me try. I'm as smart as that person is. Give me a chance. It is the desire and willingness to try something new that makes the difference. It is easy for anyone to make excuses about conditions over which they have no control and do nothing. Never give up on the one thing you have complete control, your mind. We live in what is known as a comfort zone. When we do something we know nothing about, oftentimes the new action invades our comfort zone and causes us to become uncomfortable. People who are success conscious usually lead uncomfortable lives as they are uncomfortable with things which restrict their inner desire to become successful or to be better than average. These people strive to reach beyond themselves. These feelings are not casual whims of the time. They are as much a part of the individual as the blood type, hair texture, color, race, and religion. Success-conscious people tune out negative influences of their environment. Negativity is poisonous to creative personalities. Most creations of mankind have come from people who were considered during their time to have been very eccentric, crazy, off the wall, abnormal, or even dishonest. Would it surprise you to know that Alexander Bell was locked up for his efforts to find investors to manufacture his invention, on charges of trying to extort funds from well-meaning individuals by telling them they could talk over a wire contraption called a telephone? If our modern news media had been there with their mini-cams and instant satellite communication devices, the Bell Laboratory would have been raided. Bell would have been accused of misrepresentation and fraud, and some local bully would have used the free publicity to discredit another man's life work for the sake of his own selfish ego. I use the telephone in this illustration because everyone can identify with the impact it has made on our lives over the last 40 years or so. It is also a very personal device that allows us to communicate with those we love, near and far, to transact business, to reach beyond our local markets, to share our products and services with others who benefit greatly by the use of our ideas, our products, and our services. Happiness in life oftentimes comes from the simple things like our ability to communicate with those we love. Many emotional problems in our personal lives would go away if people just understood how to communicate with others around them. We search for ways to advertise our goods in business every day. Every day is blessed as we meet new people. How wonderful life is for those who dare to reach out. Here I'll tell you that a few weeks ago I made a phone call to a real estate agent that had 2 houses on the same block. And I offered my services of cutting his grass, and he said yes. And he even gave me a 3rd house. So I did 3 houses. And I earned $60. And the check will be arriving soon. No, not at all, son. No, I didn't see you. You were hiding. I was focusing on my lesson number 1, positive attitude. It is important to also have a positive attitude. Let's see, what was the last? How wonderful life is for those who dare to reach out. Like I reached out and called a customer, potential customer, the real estate agent, and it worked out. A person must strive to tone or condition his or her attitude for success. People do not automatically possess a positive, productive attitude any more than they have perfect bodies. We must all strive to become success conscious and block out all negative environmental conditions which restrict a productive and happy life. It is important to also have a positive attitude toward the dreams of others and the willingness to learn to try to understand things in which you may have no special training, time or money invested, or special interest, because these things may also become valuable to you at another time in your life. It is important to also have a positive attitude toward the dreams of others and the willingness to learn to try to understand things in which you may have no special training, or you may have no time or money invested, or you may have no special interest, because these things may also become valuable to you at another time in your life. I'm trying to understand that one. I added words the second time. Condemnation before investigation is the height of ignorance. Don't condemn Alexander Bell for trying to invent the telephone unless you've already investigated it and it doesn't work. Condemnation before investigation is the height of ignorance. Many people say, oh, that will never work. So don't tell some people because they are negative. You can't make money cutting grass. Once you find out they're that negative, avoid them. A person must strive to tone or condition his or her attitude for success. People do not automatically possess a positive, productive attitude any more than they have perfect bodies. We must all strive to become success conscious. This is a course to help you become more successful. Tony Robbins put it this way: conditioning, like the karate man that can chop and break wood with this strike of his hand. He conditions his hand, perhaps by striking bamboo or something. Then he can become very strong with his karate chop. You must condition yourself. One Kali Muscle on YouTube, he mentions how he did 500 reps in just one day. 500 squats, perhaps. Things like that. 500 push-ups. That's just one day. There are too few people in America today who strive to solve the financial problems our country faces. Too many politicians push the problems on the tax-paying citizens rather than deal with the issues. Paymaster is a personal program designed to help you in your lifetime, now, as well as next year, 5, 10, and 20 years from now. Look at your financial condition and answer these questions in your own mind. Do you have the proper attitude for success? Can you retire now? Do you have everything you want? Have you checked your attitude lately? Are you a positive person? I added that one. Are you a positive person? It is a funny thing about life. If you refuse to accept anything but the best, you very often get it. This is a quote from Somerset Maugham. All right, let me read you some quotes. He who believes is strong. He who doubts is weak. Strong convictions precede great actions. J.F. Clark. Whatever you can dream and believe, you can achieve. If you act upon your belief, on a regular basis until it becomes a habit. People are creatures of habit. Develop success habits. I don't know who said that one. Spirello, here we go. Spirello says this. There's no thrill in easy sailing when the skies are clear and blue. There's no joy in merely doing things which anyone can do. But there is satisfaction that is mighty sweet to take when you reach a destination that you thought you'd never make. Spirello. All right, what I like about cutting grass is that you can see how wild it is before and afterwards how beautiful it looks. So if you need a business, go ahead and start cutting grass. Some customers will pay and some will not. There are two types of work, volunteer work and paid work. The rich people pay with money. Other people pay with gratitude. They are grateful to you for helping them. One neighbor gave us a sweet pineapple from her yard. God is always watching. I believe in God. God will always pay you. Now, Franklin Roosevelt said this. Happiness lies in the joy of achievement and the thrill of creative effort. Franklin Roosevelt. Now, here's another one. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes short again and again, who knows the great enthusiasm, the great devotions, and spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. This one is Theodore Roosevelt. Wow, look at this one coming up. Destiny is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice. This is the Holy Bible. That's what it said. Destiny is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice. Our chief want in life is somebody who will make us do what we can. Ralph Waldo Emerson said that. Man's mind, once stretched by a new idea, never regains its original dimensions. Oliver Wendell Holmes. I love that one. I'm adding to it. A man's mind, once stretched by a new idea, never regains its original dimensions. I remember my grandmother. My grandpa told her that at the airport in the United States there were going to be electric stairs. That she just grabbed onto the handrail, put a foot on the stair, and the stair would take her all the way to the top. So when we got to the, and he made her practice on the wooden steps to their home in Honduras. So I remember that we turned the corner, and then there were the stairs. And my grandmother just stood there and looked at them. She saw people getting on and going all the way to the top. And right next to those stairs were the regular steps, perhaps made out of concrete. And she took us up the old stairs made out of concrete. Her mind was stretched. Now, my grandfather, he had heard about it, but he probably had never been or even seen those electric stairs. All right, so let's go back. Have you checked your attitude lately? Do you have a positive attitude, my friend? All right, here we go. We got a few things to read, and then we finish. Did you load up the car? Did you load up the car? No, did you put things into the car? Okay, okay, go ahead, get started. I'm almost finished. The one thing that makes one person excel in life when another individual living in the same social environment with the same educational background and the same opportunities for success fail to achieve success in life is attitude. I love that piece of wood that she's throwing out. Wealth is the reward you receive after you find and do that something you love to do. Have a love affair with life, and you will succeed. Wealth is the reward you receive after you find and do that something you love to do. I love working with my family, and I love cutting grass. So, I will be wealthy, it says here, because I love cutting grass. And right now, I'm holding my tongue. I don't tell them what I feel or think about things, because this way we end up working together and there is a sacrifice. The wood is being sacrificed in order to teach them to work as a team. T-E-A-M, team. Together, each achieves more. Wealth is the reward you receive after you find and do that something you love to do. Have a love affair with life and you will succeed. All right, so maybe you don't want to cut grass. They're inside this blue bag, son. Have you seen the bag is over there by the door. You see any gloves? Good. When you contribute your life energies to sharing your talents with others, they enthusiastically and willingly buy from you because you have something they value or desire. You know you are a success when you can sell yourself. The first lesson for success in love and life is give first. So for young men, you could give a woman a flower and then maybe you fall in love with each other. Give first. Just put it where somebody won't cut themselves, son. Wherever you think is best. What is it, son? Oh, that belongs to this trimmer here. This electric trimmer. Trimmer. An athlete works hard for many years and endures much pain before he becomes the best in his field of endeavor. You too must be willing to experience pain for any gain you make toward success in life. The pain you will feel will be your mind's resistance to change negative thought patterns and old destructive habits. Don't worry about them. They will go away and you will be a better person and much happier in the long run. All right, so when you're cutting grass, the pain is the machine broke down. So amazingly, a neighbor of a friend fixed it. He's my friend now. That was very nice. Also, I found out that if I overheat the machine by cutting 5 yards in a row, that's too much. I need a second lawnmower. Or just cut down 2 yards front and back of a house, that's enough. Take breaks. People spend more time on entertainment in 1 year than they spend in a lifetime to improve their attitude toward life. If you keep score by how much money you lose, you will always lose. How much is success worth to you? Another tip I heard was, know what you want and go pay the price for it. Everybody has to pay the price. If you're a swimmer, you gotta practice swimming or running. There's a price for everything that is worth having. Another person put it this way. What is your ratio between entertainment time and education time? If you're watching or listening to this video, you're spending time on developing your brain and becoming more intelligent. This is education time. If you're watching a movie, you could still learn from it, but it might not be as specific about this, training your brain to become successful. Your attitude is your most prized personal possession because it is your state of mind. There are biblical laws to protect this personal estate, but only you as an individual can decide whether your life and your state of mind will be yours to keep or another person's to control and misuse. You must be careful, my friends. There are many liars. The policemen, some of them pretend to tell you the truth, or they're lying to you right out, and you believe them. And then they use that information to put you in jail. So they pretend to be nice and so on. So with the police, I don't speak with them at all. I'll say, I'll remain silent, officer. That's when they come for me. Now, if they come for somebody else, I'll say, oh, yes, that person did that. That's it. Watch out also for doctors. We're living in the United States, at least I am. And over here, I heard of one girl that she yelled at her doctor, so he just Baker acted her, and she's still locked up, I think. All right? So you don't have free speech. You must be polite. Some bullies, they will abuse their power. All right? Other people would call it karma. You yell at a doctor, he doesn't like your yelling, he locks you up. Oh, Baker act this person. All right? No, I didn't yell or anybody. I don't yell. I'm very polite. If I yell, it's like an emergency. Be careful, something. Okay, so there are mental bullies. That's what I'm teaching you here. They lie to you, but they also will have their karma. If they are more intelligent than you and they abuse you because they're bullying your brain, they will also pay for that. God is just. You will be able to do this very easily when you understand the simple laws of God and you reject the laws made by evil men who wish to tear you away from God's world. When God made mankind, he gave man a mind to use to have dominion over all other animals of his kingdom. Now here I'll point out that you can bully children, or you can bully adults that have the brain of a child, or like I used to have that brain. And the reason I got more intelligent is because I got locked up in jail, incarcerated, Baker acted in mental hospitals, things like that, where you deal with people that if you'd say anything, oh, you're exercising? Oh, you must be, let me medicate you so that you don't do any exercise. So the only thing you're allowed to do in there is sit down and breathe. So spend that time meditating with God. Now, even in that position, there were other people that were there. So I would go and I would talk to them. I didn't even have to have my hands like this. I just put them there like this. And that would calm them down if I was sitting next to them. Or they would talk to me. Some of them, they would repeat their stories. A lot of the senior citizens, they're Baker acted just because their children don't want to live with them. Okay, so you have dominion over all the animals, but you don't have dominion over other people. Now, there is leadership. You could lead other people. You're supposed to lead your children. Like right now, they're loading up the truck. Now, I don't feel like going over there. But they don't want to do any carpentry, so we're getting rid of the wood. And we're doing this as a family event. We're probably going to go eat ice cream afterwards. So I'm doing this so that they learn to work as a team. Mankind is not the fastest, largest, or strongest of the animal kingdom. Therefore, he must become the smartest in order to survive. It is mankind's ability to use his mind and control his attitude that separates him from all other animals. I'm going to start using the word positive attitude. In the beginning, man lived in caves where he had protection from the top, from the back, and all around. As time passed, man began to use this unique gift from God, and they began to think, build weapons and tools to protect themselves from the many perilous conditions of life and the dangers of living in a world of clumsy, dumb dinosaurs. Today, there are a few dinosaurs to worry about, but there are many things to think about. This self-awareness course will help you recognize dinosaurs and deal with them effectively in life. All right, dangers, all right? We're talking about dangers. Now, the alligators do exist here in Florida, and you got to be careful. Wherever there are some parks and they're near water, you better be careful. There could be an alligator here. Most of the, okay, I'm going to change the word dinosaurs to bullies. Most of the bullies are holed up in politics with no place to hide. The word is out on these corrupt, lying creatures, and they are definitely an endangered species in our modern world of financial crisis and personal strife. The Bible says, where there is lack of knowledge, my people perish. There are many scriptures in the Bible which warns us about politicians. The most famous of these scriptures are the ones which tell the story of Jesus being crucified, tried, and hung on the cross by politicians while the people watched and did nothing. Is it any wonder that we live in a world of sin, corruption, pain, hate, anger, and financial problems? Financial strife? That's what he said. Financial strife. I had the word problems. It is God's promise that we can enjoy life and all of God's blessings, as long as we make him master over our life and have faith in his word. It seemed that when good things come to mankind by the way of a messenger with special insight or solutions for common problems facing mankind, certain bullies slither out from under their rocks to bite the people and poison their mind with negativity, fear, and doubt. Have you ever wondered why this happens? Over the last 20 plus years, I have observed many disturbing things in America which makes any real Christian's blood boil. As you read this course material, you will understand why you have never been able to escape the trap of poverty induced by...
Daniel, you said it would take a few seconds.
No, a few minutes.
Minutes.
I meant to say minutes, son, forgive me. By greedy politicians. When you wake up and begin to think for yourself, look where I'm at, okay? When you wake up and begin to think for yourself, you will be completely free of fear and receive your promised spiritual, physical, emotional, and financial blessings in life. It is important for all Christians to recognize the frailty of our spiritual life and constantly encourage our pastors to deliver a positive message which fills our heart with fire and enthusiasm to serve God with every breath we take. One of my favorite pastors is T.D. Jakes. Another one is the smiling preacher, Joel Osteen. Listen to them. God provides the light to come out of the darkness of ignorance and fear. Yes, he does say turn the other cheek, but he does not tell the real Christians to lay down and let the devil run over them. Well, he's from Texas, so he probably has a gun. Believe it or not, in Texas, God tells us to remain faithful. All right, let me finish, Anna. I have like 5 sentences. Believe it or not, in Texas, God tells us to remain faithful, follow the word explicitly, and kick the bullies and send him home when he comes out of his hole in outer darkness. That is why I do not have any trouble telling a corrupt politician to go away. God is my boss. Onward, Christian soldiers. I changed some of the words. All right, I'll read the attitudes. There are some more quotes. I'll read them on another video. God bless you and those that surround you. Go do a good deed. Go help somebody. See you in the next video. Go cut their grass.